Hello champions and future champions. Hello Chessmood family. Gabuzyan is here with you and we're beginning our daily lesson. Topic for today is going to be prevent opponent's castle with bishop e3 move. Here it's white to move. We can pause the video and think how to play. This may be a little difficult and unclear how to use bishop e3 idea in this position. So let's for a moment change the position and see a little simple one. Now we're seeing another position in the same topic, it's white to move, and here let's pause the video and think the first move of white, and as well let's think about the further idea. Now white goes bishop to a3 and preventing opponent's king from castling. Why is it so important? Opponent's king is staying in the center. And we're going to build our game over this. When we are learning to play chess, one of the most important rules is take your king to the safety. This time white is succeeding, but when we go bishop to a3, black is failing to complete this mission. As well, when king is staying in the center, and exactly in this concrete position, white is going to use all the resources and try to bother it as much as possible. Here black played c6. And we need to continue our pressure as the white side. We are playing queen e2, trying to use the e file. Here black has an option of playing knight e4 move, trying at least to close the e file, having in the mind something like f6 and king f7. Of course it's not much, but black can try to do this. And the good news is, right now white has a very strong continuation. You can pause the video and think about it. We have now f3 move. The thing is that after knight g3, forking our queen and the rook, white plays now queen e1. Very importantly, not queen to e3, since if our queen is staying on e3, knight f1 would be a tempo. Now, this move is not a tempo, and instead of capturing the knight, white has knight takes c6 check. We are winning the queen on d8 and winning the game. For this reason, queen e2 is preventing knight e4 move, and black has to play now bishop e6. We go rook a e1 with the threat to play knight takes f7. Black cannot take with the bishop, so has to take with the king and queen e6 check. After black goes king g6, white can continue the attack with f4 move, and it will be really dangerous for the black. For this reason, when we go rook a1, we're threatening knight f7 move. My question to you will be, how are you going to continue if now black plays queen to c8? We play pawn takes d5. Now black cannot take with the bishop, since we will have knight g6 discovered check, taking the rook, and of course winning through the e file. If after pawn takes d5, black takes with the pawn, now we're having very unpleasant queen b5 check. This king is being in trouble. And as well, if black now goes to knight d7, we can play also queen to b4 using this diagonal, and after queen d8, f4 will be the winning move. We're threatening to go f5 and destroy opponent's king's position. The same is happening if after pawn takes d5, black plays knight d5. Still we're going f4, threatening f5, which is unstoppable. If black here continues with g6, this is very much weakening the dark squares. As well, white has a very strong concrete resource, pawn f5, g takes f5 and queen h5 moves. Now, knight f7 is hanging, black king's position is just destroyed. No need to dive deeper, as because of huge activity of white pieces and opponent's bad position of the king, we have a decisive advantage. That's why after rook a1, black cannot try queen c8, and tries to go knight e4. What is the difference? If we now go f3, black can already play knight g3, since there is a bishop on e6, the e file is closed for us. But after knight e4, we have c takes d5 move again. And here is the issue. If black plays bishop d5, we play f3. Since we opened up the e file, this idea is again working. Knight g3, and we go queen f2, since we already have our rook on e1. which means that we're ready for the discover check on the next move. And if after pawn takes d5, black plays c takes d5, now we'll play queen b5 check. Again, we're using the bad position of the king. Black now is forced to go bishop to d7. And after queen takes d5, white is instantly winning. f7 is hanging, e4 is hanging, we opened up the e file. So, with the beginning bishop a3 move in this game, white prevented opponent's king castle and destroyed it in the center. Let's go ahead to see the next one. We have now a position for the black side, and I offer you to pause the video and think how to continue here. Let me tell you that this was played in a real game, and here black played bishop to f5, rook b3, queen c4, and after queen e2, white eventually managed to castle, since this diagonal now is covered by the queen. For this reason, instead of playing bishop f5 at the beginning, black was supposed to go bishop to a6, strengthen the pressure through this diagonal. Now white is not having queen e2 options. If something like rook b3, we can play queen e4 check, rook e3, queen d5. Queen is staying well here, but the most important piece is the bishop on a6, which is still preventing white king from a castle. In the next few moves, black goes to play e6, develop the bishop and castle, bring the rook through the b file and destroy this poor king. We have seen few examples how we're preventing opponents from castling. Let's now go ahead to see the very first position, which was a little complicated one. So guys, now we're back better and stronger about this topic, and once again, I will offer you to pause the video and try to figure out how to continue here as white. Now we are beginning with knight d4 move. If here black castles, which is probably the best option, white is getting a huge positional advantage with knight f5, pawn f5 and knight c3. What's happening now? We're getting bishop pair. Black has a huge pawn weakness on d5. Why is it weakened? Because black's pawn chain now is broken, and all the time with our bishop we're going to attack this pawn. If now black goes d4, we have knight b5, and due to a double attack this pawn is gonna be lost. For this reason, after knight d4 in the game, black played bishop g6, but this was even a bigger mistake. And now we go knight to b5, getting access to this bishop on d6. For example now, if black castles, we can play knight takes d6, queen d6 and bishop a3, attacking the queen, and when it's running away, we can take the rook on f8. If black now goes knight c5, we're winning with d4 and taking the piece. That's why, after knight b5, black cannot be castling. If black plays bishop to c5 or bishop to b4, we have knight c7 check, and we can take the rook. So the only logical way is to keep the bishop and go bishop to b8. And we're already doing the idea of today, playing bishop a3, which is preventing opponent's castle. After queen d8 move, I will ask you, what do you think now about knight d6? Is it a good decision for white or it's not? You can pause the video and think about it. Knight d6 is not a bad move since we're taking the bishop, but after bishop d6 and rook c8, black now is threatening to play knight to c5. This bishop will be left on d6. If now we're playing d4, this is weakening the long diagonal. There is some cooperation of rook and the bishop. Black can now try to play knight to e4, then f6 and king f7. We're giving too much. Instead of this, we can improve knight d6 idea. And after queen d8, play queen c1 firstly. Black has nothing better but to play a6, because we are still keeping this pressure. And here, already after knight d6 check, bishop d6 and takes back, rook c8 is not a scary thing. Now we have queen a3 move. We're even strengthening the pressure through this diagonal, and black king is gonna be stuck in the center. As well, there is no square for the knight on e4, so f6 is not an option as well. This is already the third position when preventing opponent's castle with the bishop is bringing huge benefits to one of the sides. Why is it important to keep king in the center? We learned at the beginning. Let's now go ahead when you will get your test position for this topic. Here, it's white to move. You can share your thoughts and ideas how to play as white in the comments section below. GM Gabuzyan was here with you. Thank you for subscriptions, likes, and sharing this video with your friends. We appreciate it a lot. See you next time during our next daily lessons.